around like 13 to 15,000 pesos per square meter. Morning everyone. I just woke up. Bright as hell, dude. But today I gotta really study for this test. I got a bunch of core exams that I'm going through, so you know, just bear with me about me not vlogging as much. But I got a whole lot of questions that I got from in email as well as on the channel, so I'll probably address those. I'm gonna go eat real quick, take a quick shower. I am not going anywhere today because I just don't want to. I gotta really study. Hey everyone, so I've been studying all day. It's been a little hectic for me. I gotta try to cram. Not cram so much, it's just going over and reviewing things like that. Today I'm just gonna basically answer questions to some viewers, and hopefully this will help you. The first one is Liam Edmonds. So he just asked that how much would it cost to build on average a commercial building in the Philippines? So obviously this can vary if you're doing it yourself. If it's even going into the residential builds or like the commercial builds, there are things that you have to go through as far as especially in Dumaguete City, from what I know. I'm sure it's in Marikina, all the big cities. There's you have to do certain standard things as far as, like, you know, entrance for handicapped people. There's certain things that you got to do, like you have to put like a wheelchair ramp, make sure the, you know, door size is good for wheelchair access and things like that, as far as regulations that you have to meet to build out any buildings, and that goes along with like permits, things like that. It goes up and down depending on, you know, your connections with the wholesalers, and you know, these are the estimates that I'm gonna give you that I'm quoted and what I've been quoted for a while, my family and things like that. You know, I do have family who are architects, engineers, as well as associates that do those things, so I save a little bit because, you know, they don't charge me full price. But generally speaking, to build a building, residential or commercial, this is just a preliminary things, as in the permits, the, you know, standard permits you need to get, the cost of the building, basically everything you need. It's around like 13 to 15,000 pesos per square meter. Some people say it could be cheaper from the actual build to the legal stuff. It turns out it's around like 15,000 per square meter. That's when you're hiring an architect, engineer, taking care of the plumbing, electricals and things like that. It's around 13 to 15,000 per square meter. It seems as if you have a property that is 400 square meters, so, and you want to do 5 floors. I'm going to take this to the computer. So I'm going to show you some screenshots of the estimate that I got for renovating my house. This is not even a build, this is renovating my house. So this is more for Liam and for you guys who are into wanting to build out something in the Philippines. So as you can see right here, the total he gave me is 4,381,163 pesos. Now that's not including the that's including the fencing, but planning and designing, so that's his end, the architecture and stuff, and the structural, which is building, the roofing, the plumbing, the electrical installations, the finishing, which is, you know, obviously cement or whatever, that's for the smoothing of the house, the walls. And then the landscaping, because I wanted to put some you know, frog grass and or a koi pond, and fencing. So now this is not including me putting like a decorative rock, right? In relation to one of my parents' buildings, let's see here. Okay, let's see that. Let's put Vergara. Vergara building. Let's see. Yeah, this is just post right here, but this building right here, my parents' building, that is about 300 and close to 400 square meters, like basically 400 square meters. So I remember my father in total probably spent close to 30 million pesos for it. Creeping between 25 and 30 million because the interior, other things that my father wanted to put down, lost hours in unmanaged workers. So there's a lot of things that you have to factor in and got to prepare for. Let's say you have a building that you want to build that's 400 square meters, as you said over here. Let me double check here. Okay, okay, good, okay. So it is 400 square meters would be per floor, and you so based on 15,000 per square meter, you would spend 6 million per floor times 5 floors. It's 30 million, give or take. 30 smackaroos. So 30 smackaroos is that 30 million? Yep. Divided by, let's say, 51. It's 588,000 and change US. So that's pretty much it. And this next one is for Mr. John Rowe. John Rowe, thank you for watching the channel. I really appreciate it. So John and his wife Cindy are planning to go to the Philippines in 2020, and he just wanted some advice as far as I guess from what I'm understanding is like they're planning to purchase property in Dumaguete to do like land and I guess agribusinesses, because he has a brother-in-law that raises chickens and pork, pigs. So congrats to your wife for potentially earning her MBA soon. Yeah, Dumaguete, obviously it's a growing area. I think right now it's Dumaguete in general. As far as agribusiness, there are still spots that you can do it, but it's growing. You know, like within Dumaguete limits, I'm gonna shoot for like Kamanhak, Taclobo, but space is starting to get a little small now. So if you're gonna buy property just for agribusinesses, to try to get a little bit cheaper and then not too far from the city, so when you need to transport, it's not too bad. Dumaguete, as far as farming, I wouldn't really go into. I'm sure there's still spots up there. But me personally, I want to go on the outskirts. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like going south. I think this is south. This is going north. So, north, you're going to have Sibulan, San Jose, Amlan. Those are like 3 close towns that you can literally drive to. So, transportation won't be too crazy. Then on the south side, you have Bahong Pandan, Banilad, which is pretty much... they're all still agricultural, a lot of still land up there. You have Bacong, all parts of Bacong. Then you have Darwin and then Samongita. If you want to go a little bit far out for maybe cheaper land, Shaton is there. And then a little bit further than Shaton is a little bit too far. So for me, because some of it's like an hour away, it's a little bit too much for me for transport. So I wouldn't go that far. So, usually from my observation, what kills moving these things to market is usually distance. Like, you don't want it too high in the hills because maybe not enough trucks are going to go up there and bring the stuff down for you. And that probably cuts down your market to just to the locals buying your stuff. I suggest something not too far in, but, not too close to the, the highway where it's going to be super expensive unless you got money like that and you can buy hectares on the highway and then raise them like that. That'll be good. That'll be really good too. I'm sure you know that I raise pigs. I am more of an investor on that one. Fighting cocks, I don't really don't have experience for that. I just have 2 reasons why I don't deal with fighting cocks. I know it is a very lucrative business. The problem is, for me, for your brand to get known, you would have to take it to the fighting to the ring, to make sure that you get that will be your publicity for your line, your breeding line. For me, I don't like gambling in that way, so therefore I don't see me doing that or investing in that, because it's just I know how I am. I'm very competitive, so if I go into the fighting cock business, I know I'm gonna want those cocks to compete and win, and that means me honing in on the training and all that stuff. And my wife doesn't want me to go into those cockpits, into the arenas. I'm not into gambling either way, so it's just not for me. Pigs, on the other hand, the more land, the better. A little bit more remote. My piggery is literally maybe 10 to 15 minutes away from the national highway. going up, right? It's going up into from Bacong going up. So, and my neighbors are usually farmers as well, so I don't really come into contact with getting into conflicts with neighbors. So that's another thing too. You can't be raising pigs like that in that mass, or even pigs in general, or even cows in such a congested area where it's just housing, it's all residential. It's kind of hard. You know, the city's gonna come after you. You might have to have a meeting with the barangay captain eventually. And in the city, especially Dominican City, you can't do that. It's a sanitation issue. For, you know, good luck to you that you're going home in 2020, God willing, everything goes through on your end. You know, I mean, technically, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you got a piggery, whatever town you're in, you can pretty much conquer that particular market in there if you have enough pigs, you have enough buyers. You open up your own meat shop and things like that. So, you know, there's a lot of avenues that can be gotten from that. So I hope that helped you in any way. The piggery business is almost as great as the coconut business, but I still do prefer coconuts because it's just sustainable, and you're not putting any fertilizer down. It is what it is. It's just there. Pigs, unfortunately, you have to put time into it, money into it, and God willing, everything stays healthy. Then, you know, you got a really good run there. Other than that, that's all I got. Once again, thank you for your patience. I haven't been vlogging as much because of the, you know, I'm trying to pass this test. I really need this. I really need this. So, yeah, things are always evolving in my life, Ruby and I's life, and, you know, I'll keep you guys posted. I would appreciate a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you soon, and take care, and God bless.